So the other day, ladies, I was at the Viore store when one of the sales associates who looked to be in her late teens was off of her shift, saying bye to her coworkers while slinging a big, huge YSL bag over her shoulder. Ironically, I wasn't struck by the fact that a teenager with an hourly job had a huge YSL bag. I was struck more by the fact that it barely registered. So let me say something that a lot of people aren't gonna say out loud. Shocker, I know. Mainstream luxury bags just aren't luxurious anymore. Not because their beauty or their quality disappeared, but because the bar to access has changed so drastically that quite literally it feels like everyone has one. From teenage girls at Viore all the way on up. Between YouTube, TikTok, consignment platforms like RealReal and Fashion File, and buy now, pay later financing apps like Affirm. Ownership to things that used to be very exclusive are now almost as easy as buying a pair of sweatpants. Chanel, YSL, Gucci, Dior, Louis, you see them everywhere. At the airport, Cheesecake Factory, in line at Target, and all over Instagram and YouTube. And when something is this ubiquitous, it's no longer special. It's just another Tuesday. No shade on anyone. If you love your YSL, keep on keeping on. This is about looking at what's happening in luxury bags holistically. Then I'll introduce you to a few pieces that say high-end luxury without all the mass marketed saturation. Okay, let me show you. 25 years ago, most designer bags were bought by two groups of women. Women with real disposable income, like, the rich ladies, and ladies who saved meaningfully for one big purchase. Like they save their pennies for that Chanel bag. It wasn't impulsive, it was planned. You thought about it for months, you saved and saved for the bag you wanted, you walked into the boutique and you made a meaningful purchase. Today, that entire process has been flattened and made accessible to really everyone. That's why brands like Chanel, YSL, Dior, Louis Vuitton, etc., feel very saturated. Between resale, social media, and financing, designer bags that used to be exclusive now sit in closets across every age and every income bracket, which is exactly why many luxury bags just don't feel special anymore. They're mainstream, they're everywhere, no one blinks, and that begs the question, why would you spend thousands and thousands of dollars on something that no longer feels elevated, special, rare, or even distinctive, when a $5,000 Bottega bag is now $2,700 used on Fashion File, and you can split the payments over 2 years on an app like Affirm. Now that bag is $89 a month for 2 years. You do the math. Everyone's gonna have the bag. And here's the part that a lot of brands don't want to recognize. As these bags have become more and more accessible, droves and droves of wealthier women are moving away from purchasing them. Not publicly, not dramatically, quietly. Well, except for me, I'm yammering on and on about it. It's what I do. But seriously, to a large degree, ladies, we've just stopped carrying them. Last year, I shared with you and I showed you, I cleared out my entire handbag closet. Literally, I took 17 designer bags to Fashion File and I got rid of them. Chanel's, Louis, Dior. Well, no, not Dior. I've never bought Dior. Gucci, Bottega. Why? Because I just felt that they were so ubiquitous that it just stopped signaling discernment, and I felt more like just another cattle mooing along in the herd, following everybody else with my dumb designer bag. And that's just not who I am. And so I just kind of wanted to clear the closet. Women who have access don't want to participate at a mass level. They want distinction, they want novelty, and they want pieces that don't say, me too, me too. So instead of carrying what everyone recognizes, they gravitate more to pieces that are recognizable to a much smaller group. They know that luxury without rarity is just expensive pricing. That's the shift. So what is a luxury loving lady to do? Let me tell you. Let me show you a handful of insider alternatives, many of which I've already purchased myself. Let's start with Loro Piana. Most people think of Loro Piana for beautiful knits and cashmeres. And yes, that's their heritage, but ladies, their bags are just as exceptional. I own the Loro Piana Guerra Tote. I've shown you this before, and it's a perfect example of what they do well. Beautiful leather, impeccable construction, no logos, no trends, no noise. Their bags aren't designed to be bag first. They're designed to complement the presence of the woman. They age beautifully, they go with everything, and they never feel dated. This is stealth wealth personified. It signals taste, not status seeking. Number 2, Gabriela Hearst bags. Love Gabriela Hearst. This is modern, elevated luxury done right. Her bags are intentional. They're unique, interesting, without being weird or try hard. I own her Nina bag and it's the perfect example. Ladies, every time I wear this bag, I see women's head turn and look at the bag and then they want to see what I'm wearing because I can tell they love the bag and they're thinking, ooh, that's a cute one. Beautiful structure, clean lines, very high quality leather. It feels fresh and modern without being trendy. Nothing is screaming for attention with this bag. There's no visible branding, no huge logos, just understated chic, which is what I love. And it elevates everything with which you wear it. Again, taste, not status seeking. Gabriela Hearst has a boutique inside the Beverly Wilshire on Rodeo Drive, so every time we're up there, I go in and visit and see whatever they have new. And ladies, I'm telling you, the bags are just as beautiful and luscious in person as what I'm showing you on the side. Another brand I love is Brunello Cucinelli. I own a number of their knits, and this is understated European chic at its best. Everything they do is about softness, proportion, and refinement. Nothing harsh, nothing flashy. I'm partial to the duo hobo with Cucinelli's signature monili. Monili is that subtle metallic mesh detail at the base of the strap. Cucinelli tends to use it in very restrained, subtle, hidden ways, and it's subtle on purpose. They're not trying to feature it. They're signaling to people who know. The leather is buttery, the construction is impeccable. This is something that I would completely wear shopping on Rodeo, traveling, or just bopping around during the daytime casually when I still want to look a little bumped up. It's that versatile, and yet it quietly elevates everything that you're wearing. Now, for unapologetic, unparalleled glamour, the queen bee of evening, Miss Judith Leiber. Gorgeous crystal miniadières, sculptural clutches, true glamorous statement pieces, ladies. When you carry a Judith Leiber, you are not trying to look understated. You want to look exceptional, which is why I have a number of them in my closet. These are what to wear for chic date night, galas, fancy dinners, black tie, weddings, any moment that calls for glamour. It's not trying to be a versatile everyday piece. It's not trying to be relatable. It's saying, this is game time, baby, and I am ready for it. These are timeless collectibles that you will have for decades. No logos, no branding plastered across the bag, just a spectacular head-turning piece that will have people saying, wow, that bag is stunning. Is that a Judith Leiber? If you're deciding between colorways, ladies, I recommend that you start with the metallic that you most always wear. For example, if you are partial to gold like I am, start with the gold crystal. If you're silver, the silver. Remember, silver and gold are neutrals, and so the bag will work seamlessly with all of your evening attire. For more subtlety, choose black. You can never go wrong. Skip the fashion colors, ladies. These, while beautiful, aren't as versatile, and they're definitely not as classic. Start first with either gold or silver or the black. To be clear, ladies, listen. If you still carry the YSL, the Dior, the Chanel's, all the mainstream stuff, you're not unsophisticated, you're not behind. My commentary here is simply about getting off of the everyone has it treadmill for just a hot minute in order to reassess our buying habits. Before you buy, ask yourself these two questions. 1, is this something I see everywhere? And 2, will it feel dated 3 to 4 years from now? If the answer is yes to either or both, slow your roll. If you really, really want it after consideration, listen, it's your money, you do you. Luxury, ladies, is not about keeping up. It is about knowing when to opt out. Buy fewer things, buy better things, and buy what feels intrinsically like you. Take care, ladies. I'll see you in a couple days.